which is pretty incredible. It's pretty cool. If you're going the 285 side and you're coming on the south side of Evergreen, you're going Evergreen Meadows area.
Mhm.
That takes me. That's kind of the areas that I'm over in. That takes me about 30 minutes. 35 if I'm looking to get like downtown Denver. We are a real estate team, so we also do help you find your awesome home here in the Front Range, Colorado. We are licensed statewide, so we can find a home for you anywhere, but this is our bread and butter because this is what we do every day. So we're going to jump into the map of Evergreen here. So Denver, boom, downtown Denver. This is Evergreen. Sorry about all of our bubbles. These are all the homes for sale right now in Evergreen, and we're just going to walk you through. So when you come up 285 here, this is where I was kind of showing you. Go in this direction. You are looking about 35 minutes, and it's going to put you like right over here.
Mm-hmm.
If you're coming down I-70, that's where I was saying you are looking at a less than 20-minute commute. I mean, you were fast into town, and these are moving quickly roads.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Evergreen is massive. So you have Morrison over here, Aspen Park, Upper Bear Creek is part of Evergreen. So how Evergreen starts is just here where my little hand is. You're going to miss Shadow Mountain, cut back into the Brook Forest Estates. Evergreen goes like all the way back here. And then it kind of gets a little close. You get into Kittredge, Indian Hills. These are other small towns that are up here that not a lot of people know about, but there's a lot of history and great prices of homes over in those areas too. So if you're like, hey, I want to be Evergreen specific, but then you realize like, oh, wait a minute,
It's a little expensive.
or any one of these other towns that are right here would have
there.
done it. Like, don't just set yourself Evergreen when you could have been in Conifer and saved, a pretty penny. But if you're Evergreen specific and that's where you want, you have this massive amount. So going up Squaw Pass here into Idaho Springs, you go into Clear Creek County. So it switches on you. Evergreen's so big, it's in 2 counties. And so you get better taxes over here too, if that's something you want. But this is like a 35-minute commute just on Squaw Pass. So if you're looking Echo Lake, going up that area, you have a while before you just get back into downtown Evergreen and then out. So kind of pick where your needs are. If you're like, I want massive Continental Divide mountain views, and I specifically want that privacy and space, I don't really care to hang out with my neighbors, check out over here. If you're like, hey man, I want the hustle and bustle, and I don't want to actually deal with well and septic, you want to be closer to that downtown Evergreen area. What other questions do you have for me? Because I have been here since I've been born. So I was raised here, and I had that experience as a kid to adulthood. So if you're like, I just want my kids out of the city, I want to come up and have that peace of mind. I mean, we could talk about that. So, Shayla, what else do we got?
Yeah, that was my next question. Is what's it like to live in Evergreen? Like, what is your favorite part? What are the girls' favorite part?
Yeah. Okay.
You have 2 little ones who are running around. So
yeah, I would say my favorite part when I was a kid is just having like the woods to myself. So my imagination was like, oh, I found a stick. This is clearly, a sweet 30-06. I'm going to go do some hunting with my little stick. So I didn't even need like a lot of toys as a kid. It wasn't, we weren't materialistic growing up here. It was about living in like surviving off the land. But as a child, like I remember, being 7 years old, and I was in the Scouts, and my dad was like, all right, let's build you guys a fire pit out here. And my brother and I would go and have a little fire together, which is not ideal. I do not recommend. That was probably poor parenting.
Smokey the Bear is disappointing.
Yeah, we live in the woods. Who the hell let a freaking kid go light a fire out there? But
please don't do that.
Yeah, but if you do it safely, please have supervision. But it was just having that, experience of just being one with the land. That is not that we didn't even have that much land. I think we lived on 2 acres at the time, and it was just amazing just to be like, I'm running outside, I'm outside. And so like my parents used to have a gong and like cowbell us in. It was dinner time. Like, come inside. It's time to come inside. So your kids aren't just sitting behind screens. That I think was like just the greatest thing, is being, it would be a foot of snow outside, and my parents would bundle us up and just yeet us into the snow, and we would stay out there for hours. So it's just, I think just having that experience of getting your kids out of technology and back into a little bit of like just that peace of mind that, they're they're playing, they're touching the trees, they're climbing, they're falling, they're eating shit,
Laying in the
they're
mud.
having fun. And I just think that was just a huge experience. And all of my friends, everyone I went to high school with, we all did that. Like that was our hangout, was we're gonna just be outside. The one thing that kind of sucked a little bit is all your friends live like 20 minutes away because Evergreen.
The river.
So the river,
the river, the road.
So my parents used to just drive me over to like your friend's house, and they'd be like, "I'll pick him up on Sunday," and that parent would just be like in charge of me for like 2 days, and that was everybody.
You had the gong, and I had the street lights.
Yeah, you had the street lights.
I had the street lights. Like when those turned on, I had to get my butt home on my bike.
Yeah, my dad eventually, when we moved over and we got a little more land, he took a railroad horn from a train, hooked it up to the air compressor, and just started blasting that thing. And I thought for a long time, I sat out there for like 2 hours being like, where the hell is a train in Evergreen? Dad didn't tell me about it, so we didn't come back. We were still playing. And eventually he's like, if you hear the train, it's me. And so if you live up here, you might want to get a train horn for your kids.
That's going to be confusing for your neighbors.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be like, where the hell is a train?
It's the Polar Express.
Yeah. Oh, it showed up and took my kid. Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, it's great. It's a great place. And then we have great schools here.
You keep taking the words out of my mouth.
I know. Yeah.
We have the same brain. It's fine.
Yeah. It's how we work here. But yeah, schools were amazing here. You have 2 high schools in the area, Conifer just over a little bit south of Evergreen, and Evergreen High School. Both of them are 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 on schools, and they are the top 500 high schools in the nation.
Wow.
So we have really good education, and our elementary schools have all been like really ramped up.
Awesome.
There's new builds going on, and then they renovated entirely Marshdale Elementary, completely tore down the old one, which did look like a little prison when I used to walk through it. That's where I went. And then
all schools looking like that,
it was a cinder block. The only windows were in the door to the exterior. So there was you just walk down like
fluorescent lights.
It was the Green Mile, like dead man walking over here. But it was a great education. It was still a great school. And now it's fully redone and it is just gorgeous. So
it's a happy place for kids.
It is. But sometimes the buffalo will escape from the park across the street and they will end up on the playground. And you will have a lockdown for a buffalo being out on your...
We had very similar, because you had buffalo. No, I had rattlesnakes.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to be flung over the fence. And then they just were like, okay, go for it.
All right, go back out.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the rattlesnake came through. But yeah, here we have the buffalo over on that side. So
very dangerous.
Well, when there's a buffalo on your field, you're probably not going to let elementary school kids run. I would have totally tried to touch it.
You would have been a casualty.
That's the kid. I'm the statistic who got punted by a buffalo.
You're the reason why rules are in place. Don't touch them.
Don't touch them. They don't want to be touched. So, amazing schools up here. It's so much fun. Everyone has... I feel like it's a simpler life.
I agree.
You know, there's no FOMO, no fear of missing out on anything, because you're like, no, I'm at peace. I don't need to go do that. But if you want to go do it, you're also 40 minutes at your max to go anywhere. You want to go to a Rockies game?
Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit of nightlife out here.
Oh yeah,
so
there is.
There's the Little Bear and the Bait Shack and Cactus Jack.
Yeah, and then you just go a little further south, and there's the Well over in Conifer, and they have live music outside. It is a ton of fun. So you kind of get everything you need. They are even putting a golf simulator over here.
Yeah.
So you have it all while living in the mountains,
which is pretty great. And then there's like the wild game if you want to go bowling and arcade games. There's a great little Mexican restaurant right next to it. So there's tons to do.
And then the community here is what I love. That's what I think is the greatest. Is no one's being a Karen at your doorstep. If you don't know what that means, look it up. But no one's doing that to you here. No one really cares. As long as you're happy, they're happy. But we all set up so many fun events.
Yes.
So we have
a ton of events.
A ton. We have the Evergreen Rodeo, the Chili Cook-Off. They're doing Oktoberfest.
Second year in a row, which
we
is
have
exciting.
The parade that goes through for trick-or-treating. It's incredible. We do a lot of trunk-or-treating, so a lot of schools host, because everyone's kind of far away. We bring everyone together during these special events, and the turnout is incredible. And if you haven't been to the Chili Cook-Off or the Evergreen Rodeo, you're missing out on something in life that you really need, and you didn't know you needed it, but it's here. Come check it out.
I'm excited for the Oktoberfest.
I am too. I think
we missed out on it last year, but this year
we're going. If you guys want to see Alpine Peaks team at Oktoberfest, we will be sponsoring part of that. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And the Evergreen Rodeo.
And we're sponsoring the Evergreen Rodeo.
So come say hi.
Come say hi. Well, that brings you Evergreen. Evergreen is dope in a baby nutshell. Yep. If you have more questions or you specifically want to know something, put it in the comments below. We do read them. We don't get a lot of comments because no one wants to talk to us, but we're a lot
Thank you,
of
our
fun.
7 subscribers.
Yeah, bam. You guys are the best. And we will see you next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about conifer. Peace.
See ya.